welcome to episode 27 here of the POG Show. I'm your host, Mike Springer, the Public Information Officer for the City of Port Orange, and that was our intro by Mick Niels over there. Thank you, Mick. And I am joined by a very special guest here today for this July broadcast of our POG Show. He was actually the very first guest of the POG Show. He's decided to come back, make a second appearance here. Only guest to do that, so be on here first and twice now, so 2 times. So that goes to our mayor, Don Burnett. So thank you, Mayor, for coming back here to visit us again here on the POG Show.
Mike, good to be here with you. And I tell you what, we've come a long way when you got Mick playing us in the way he did. It got me all charged up and ready to go.
No, we got that hype music going and gets our guests ready, and for an exciting podcast that we have.
Well, it might not be Shinedown or 3 Days Grace or anything like that, but hey, this is Port Orange. This works for me.
He can play a little of those if we want to. I could think we could rework the song a little bit, get a little bit of that 3 Day Grace kind of vibe going on if you want that.
Hey, it's all about high energy in this town. It always is, because there's always something going on for somebody. I've said so many times that we need to make sure we've got things going on. I don't care if you're age 8 or age 80. There's got to be options for you to do in this city, and that's what makes a vibrant community, that plenty of options and plenty of opportunities to enjoy yourself and avail yourself of the things that we offer.
Well, speaking of those opportunities, you were at one just earlier this month, July 4th at City Center. I mean, that had thousands of people out there. You had fireworks, you had a pie bake-off. I mean, that was incredible.
That's always one of there are 2 days in the year that are special to be mayor in this town. One of them to me is July 4th, and the other is Christmas parade. Everybody's happy. There's thousands of people out having a good time at both events, and there's so much goodwill going on, and everybody who was there that got to partake. We start at 5:30. You've got the kid zone going. We've got food trucks. We had live entertainment with Hayfire. We had the car show. Other vendors and things going on. There's plenty to do leading up to the fireworks at 9 o'clock. And the fireworks show, I personally, I think this is the very best one we've ever had. It was a very explosive ending. I'm like, this is a great finale. And then it just kept going. And it kept going. And I was listening to a couple kids standing near me just going, yeah, wow. And one kid came, his family came from Ormond Beach to see our fireworks. And they said they'll be back next year. And that just tells me everything I want to know about what Parks and Rec did and our staff and public safety to make sure that several thousand people can converse on City Center and the surrounding areas and just enjoy themselves in the most family-friendly environment possible.
And I could tell you, I'm still getting comments from people saying how amazing that event was, how great Hayfire was. You had all the activities for the kids there. And then again, the fireworks. I mean, you couldn't beat that display.
And I've already had conversations with our city manager, Wayne Clark, about how we can improve things for next year. And that's the thing. When you have something that's successful, you want to stay with that formula, but you also want to build on it and do new things and new offerings and the like. And it was good to have Hayfire back for the concert as well. They're just terrific, and everybody always seems to enjoy them every year.
Speaking of doing things, I mean, you just look at City Center, come down here any Saturday, there's something going on for you, the family to come down and do, whether it's one of our festivals, car shows, art shows. I mean, there's just an endless amount of activity going down here at City Center almost every weekend.
It's amazing, and City Hall opened on July 4th weekend in 1985, a year I'll never forget because this is the year I graduated Spruce Creek High School. But that was the beginning of so many things. This campus is unlike any other civic campus in the county, that we can come and have so many events here. A short ride just from City Hall around the circle. You've got the YMCA, you've got the rec and its improved facilities. It's not just a basketball court in there. We've got something in there for everybody. And of course the amphitheater and the rec center, the library. There, all these things in this area, and the tree-covered walk around the lake. It's great to come to City Center any day or night, and I always see somebody walking around the lake and just enjoying the campus. It doesn't matter what time of day or night. It's here. It's accessible. People feel safe, and that's what we want. And it's one of the unique things about Port Orange.
And, talking about the great services that our Parks and Recreation Department provides, and, you and the rest of the council right now are working on that budget, trying to figure out how to pay for those great services, the fantastic police, fire, and ambulance we have here, our roads, the great water and sewer system we have. So that's the new thing going on right now, is figuring out how we're going to pay for that, figuring out what the budget's going to be to provide all those great services at a great value for the residents.
And that's what value is the word there, because it is a value. It's not just about price; it's the value proposition that we live in a family-friendly community, that people choose to be here because of what we offer. And it's always safety first. You can't go out and enjoy yourself and get your esteem needs filled unless you feel safe and secure. In the last 7 years, we've consistently been named among the top 10 safest cities in all of Florida. And that is a tribute to our police department and our fire department, but it's also a tribute to our citizenry, because they're actively engaged. And you have to have both, because citizens are the eyes and ears of the community, and our police department will act and react to those things as well. They just do a terrific job. And when we're able to have events here like Family Days or 4th of July, the car show, and we do have our police department here, and we have them on the ground walking the events. You don't, other than when they're right in front of you and you get to greet them, you hardly notice them, because they're in the background doing their jobs, and we're able to just come and enjoy the event and not have to worry about things. That's really a testament to the job that they do.
And another event you have coming up is going to be on Wednesday, July 19th, 6 o'clock at the Rec Center. You're going to have coffee with the mayor, and it's kind of a chance for residents to come down, talk to you one-on-one directly, and staff, and kind of see all the things that are happening here in the city.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about the things that we have going on. That this Wednesday, 6 o'clock at the Rec. Love to see anybody. We did a morning one last month. I like to do outreach events different times of the year. We do a town hall in January, and during the summer, I'd like to do these kinds of things, because we want to make it easy for citizens to reach out to us. And you can come to the coffee with the mayor, and we'll talk a little bit about what we have planned for traffic improvements, what we have planned for large drainage projects. We reworked the 2004 master drainage plan that's after those storms. It's outdated. There's plenty of new information based on things going on, and we've got 7 major projects coming out of that, and we'll be reviewing those things. But really, come to the coffee of the mayor, not just to hear about what's going on. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from everybody, because when I hear from what's going on in our neighborhoods, what's going on, what do people want, what are they happy with, what would they like to see in the future, that helps me do my job better. Frankly, I don't think I've come up with very few original ideas in my lifetime. I'm smart enough to listen to other smart people when they come up with great ideas. Okay, hey, that sounds like a great idea. Let's pursue it. Is this possible? What does it take? What are the logistics? Some of them big, some of them small, but all of them collectively make an impact. And this is why and how we have the things we have in Port Orange, is because of City Center was the vision of Mayor Jim Fisher and a whole lot of other people, and we've just built upon it over the years. Having a Port Orange Community Trust active in our community, and being using our facilities for 2 major events, among other things, along the other things that go on, all those things, and we get feedback from them about how we can help them put on better events for our citizens. It's really so much about being engaged, and I just want to hear from you. I'd love to have you come out, and it's not just about the coffee.
You mentioned the importance of listening to residents and kind of engaging with them and kind of seeing what they want, what their vision is for the city. What were some of your takeaways? What were they telling you at the last coffee with the mayor back in June?
Well, and to be frank, some of it was painful to hear, because we had a king-size storm event last year with Ian. We had 5 neighborhoods that were severely impacted. We had almost 1,000 homes flood, which us in New Smyrna actually had the most homes in all of that impacted in Volusia County. We might not have had the visuals that some of the things up the road, but at Daytona Beach, the Nova Canal, and seeing those homes flood out, and it's a constant thing up there, but there's so many things that affect all of us. We had the highest rainfall totals in the area in this region, us in New Smyrna, with over 20 inches in that 24-hour period. You take those of us that lived here in 2004 remember the 3 hurricanes back to back. But if you take the rain of Francis and the winds of Charlie and put it together and multiply about 1.5, you have Ian. We've never seen anything like that, and I hope we never do again. But all the same, we did a lot of learning after Ian, and there's a lot of pain and there's a lot of emotion from those people, and they've gotten help from various sources, whether it be from FEMA or us or the county or their own insurance company. Some things happen faster, some things happen slower than you want them to, but they, and one of those neighborhoods is very close to my subdivision, and I drive through it frequently, and I still see some pods out and some trailers out in front of some of the houses, and they're still in recovery mode. It's hard when everybody's competing for the same resources. You got to fight your insurance company, and then you get FEMA, and then you're looking for contractors, and then you're looking for supplies. And my parents stayed with me for almost 4 months after their house got flooded during Ian, and I did not realize at the time, as hard as it was on them to be displaced from their home of 60 years, it was a blessing because we got to spend a lot of time together that we wouldn't have had. And my mom recently passed, and I didn't know that was a blessing. I'm seeing that in some of these neighborhoods, that some of these people, the way they've supported each other and come together and really have each other's back. I really expect no less out of the people of Port Orange, and they have delivered for each other. And it's sad to say sometimes when you see the worst of events that it brings out the best in people. And it certainly does. It can bring out the worst in some of them too. And I get that from the frustration standpoint. But more often than not, I have seen neighbors pull together like never before when these things happen, and this was no exception. And that was one of the jewels of this. It's a hard jewel when you have to go through rough times to see it. But to know the hearts of these people and know what they've gone through and know that they're for each other, it's great to see.
As you mentioned, community, that's such a big aspect of all this, and kind of that is the silver lining in some of these events, is seeing how people do come together and act neighborly and become a community after we have an event like an Ian or Nicole hits this area. And, the city's also working to do its part too, because part of the Coffee with the Mayor, they're going to go over part of that stormwater master plan that they're all working on, those potential projects that could help maybe not stop an Ian-sized storm here, but at least help reduce some of the flooding that we could potentially see.
And I get it, summer storm season is here, and some people are nervous over those things. Let's face it, older neighborhoods were built to lower standards. They weren't required to be built, homes are not required to be built as high as they are now. Drainage systems were designed differently. And there are some things I can do better for these people, and there's some people, some of these things I'm not sure that I can help them with. But what I want to make sure is that we help them with is summer afternoon showers. When the water builds up, it drains right away. I don't want it to become a threat. I can't promise that we'll never see another Ian, but I can believe that we ought to be able in a situation where we can handle most large storms, even tropical storm and hurricane strength storms. We need to be more resilient. We need to build our systems more resiliently, and that's a lot of what these large public works projects that we're going to talk about will do. What we dealt with in 2004, we've done a lot of learning from that, and to work off a master plan that's 20 years old, no matter how it impacted us then, it needed to be updated, and it has been, and a credit to our public works staff and their engineering team. Now we've got to go find the funding and make these things happen.
At that July 19th, Coffee with the Mayor at 6 o'clock on the evening there at the rec. You know, they'll also be talking about all the development that's going on too, traffic improvements for Dunlawn. So there's a lot for people to learn and take away from that. What do you hope people gain from going out there at that coffee with the mayor?
Well, I think there'll be something for everybody. I want them to gain what they need. You know, some people might be there with their storm concerns. Some of it might be traffic related. Some of it, you know, they're worried about their tax bill. They're different things. What I want them to know is that we're doing the very best we can with what we have, and we'll be as efficient as possible, but we're not going to stop trying. Throwing our arms up and walking away is not an option to me. We are a customer service organization first and foremost. We don't always get it right. We get it right more often than not, but we don't always get it right. My thing is when we do get it, an opportunity is the way I look at it. How do we address that? What do we do? How do we make it better for our citizens the next time around? You know, that's part of the need for me to be able to hear what's on people's minds. And if you're just happy and you want to know what's going on in your community and you want to check out the new rec center, you can come out there for that reason too.
I heard the slide's good.
We'd love to have you.
Yeah, that slide can't beat that, can you?
No, absolutely. That rec center is a $4 million improvement that is so much more than just a few basketball courts. Art house, entertainment, exercise. Going down that 2-story indoor slide on that playground is a little perilous for somebody my size, but those kids love it, and it's exciting to see and go in there and see that any time of day or night so far since it's reopened, it's always busy.
So that's it. July 19th, 6 p.m. You could check out the new rec center, talk to the mayor directly, talk to staff, get all those questions answered, that any kind of concerns you may have about development, parks and recreation, stormwater, anything you want. This is the place to be if you want to get those answers.
And if you can't come out Wednesday night, we'd still love to hear from you. Me and the entire city council. You have our emails and phone numbers up on the city website and social media. So we're all accessible. Heck, we live in your neighborhood, so we're not far away. So even if you can't be there Wednesday night for coffee with the mayor, we're here for you. Reach out to us if you need us.
Well, Mr. Mayor, we appreciate it. I know you got a busy schedule because you're running around all over the place these days. So thank you for stopping by. We appreciate it. And Mick, play us out.